on? I can't see you. No movement? Oh, I can't blame you. You've been sitting there for 4 hours. I really appreciate you guys sitting here. What I do is I walk around the perimeters of this grounds. I observe a lot of people, talk to a lot of people. And basically what I do most of my life is I'm a watcher. I'm the observer. I watch people and the spirit that they're in, the feelings that they have, and the paths that they walk. And it's really wonderful for me to be participating here at camp, at a Vigil camp, the only one in Canada right at this time that's still pretty active. I think that's, you should be recommended for being here. I really believe that. Come on! Give yourself a big hand. I got a phone call from a friend of mine in Ottawa this morning, and he was telling me like he traveled across to Oka. He was involved in Oka, and then he's just on his way back pretty soon. And he said that Vancouver has got the strongest support across the country. You really do. You're worth it. And you're really making a loud statement for the people that are in Oka, that are sitting in jails right at this time. And for the sisters that were here earlier, they were talking about their experience at Oka. It was really important that I hear them and I see them, and of course it was for you too. Because through them, through their connection and through their talking, their words and their feelings, you're able to connect. The spirit isn't here. I was talking to a young fellow here, didn't really know what was going on with the camp and why we were all sitting here talking to one another. Didn't see any purpose of me talking to you because you already know the situation. He didn't really understand why we keep repeating the stories over and over again, why we keep doing the same things over and over again. But he was not involved here when the children are crying, when the children are angry, when they're sad and things like that. So I had to tell him, we're here for solidarity. We're here to hear one another. We're building our spirits up together. We're trying to identify with one another. I don't know how important you are to each other sitting in a group here. I don't know how much you know the next person that's sitting next to you. Maybe you're an observer right now. You only come once every few days. You don't really know the person sitting next to you. But in an occasion like this, when we all stand up together and we all talk to the people with one voice, it's really important that you look around you. You observe the person next to you and you identify with that person. And if you can, you give a short hug if you can. You got to ask. Say, can I give you a hug? Sure, give me a hug. Give me a laugh, give me a good feel. It's really wonderful that we stick together. Because when we go home, if you have a home to go to, we become isolated. We become bombarded with information, disinformation that's not true. It rips your confidence apart, your conscience apart, your feelings apart. So when you come to a unit like this, it's very, very important that you hear and you feel and you connect with what's happening, and you can feel good about that. And that's basically what I do. Is I connect with feelings, I connect with people. I've been doing that for 18 years. And I see people, and no matter what kind of condition they're in, I'm connecting with that person. And it's really nice to see that. The drum over there, the guy drumming over there, it's really nice. It's really nice to see somebody else talking to whatever. It's really nice that this is happening. You can see people singing. You heard people talking and singing with you for the last 4 hours. It's really, really wonderful. And you're very dedicated. You're still sitting here. And I find that really, really important. I really do. Clap, 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 clap. I also sense the noise that we're making are probably aggravating some people in the neighborhood. Well, I'll tell you something. Pardon my language, but screw them. Because what we got to say right now is important. If we violate some law, well, excuse me. But right at this time, it's really, really important that you be able to stay connected and stay united. Because what are you going to do next week or 2 months down the line? Are you going to still be able to come to your friend's place and still have that connection, that feeling, that identity, that morale that you need to still connect with the issues at Oka? Because 2 months from now, I'll tell you something. This feeling and this spirit might fade a little bit, but I know for a fact my Oka brothers will still be in jail. I know that for a fact. They're not going to let them walk, but you just got to keep it with you. And what you can put out, and what I can put out, in whatever minute state or big state it is, or big statement, small statement, whatever, that is very, very important. Thank you. There you go.
Wasn't that great? Let's hear it for her. I thought it would be cold out here. We kept the rain away. I think collectively we just had that same thing in mind. Oh, people. Okay, up next is, I'd like to have you welcome Neil Benson. Where are you?
Howdy. I went out and had some pizza today, and I bought myself some Coke. Some Coca-Cola. I will drink some Coca-Cola. That's right. Yeah, it's got caffeine in it, right? This here poem is was written here on a spot in Tent City. It's written here in Tent City. Greetings, brothers and sisters. Let me explain to you why I am here. I am here because the idea behind this setting is our use of space in a metropolitan Vancouver. Vancouver, as I know it, is smog city, unhealthy for one and all. I am a tribal native, an individual member of the Gitxsan Wet'suwet'en Tribal Council. My Christian name is Neil Benson, and he loves me so much, but only so much. My Indian name is Sakhwok, a varmint that looks like a mouse with wings and likes to come out at night. I put it to you, my friends, I am love with one and all. Peace, my fellow Europeans. If it happens, you find injustice exists, then pray for me to find the solution to resolve our mistakes. First of all, I don't even have the cash to take care of all my bills, not to mention the steps of the art gallery make for a cold, hard mattress. But it is ironic that this huge project, City on the Edge, accommodates our situation, the real city on the edge, and actually highlights the fact that we as reasoning human beings can get along with one another. I mentioned the fact of using the steps as a crash pad and that I did not even have a pup tent to sleep in. It was cool to be blanketed by the stars and heavenly bodies. I would even say it was rad. I really experienced the life of a hobo, with myself living the lifestyle of the tramp and of the homeless people. This is oppression, and fortunately, life is a one-way street. Sure would like to set myself up with a hide-a-bed in one of those offices, though. You are your own best friend, but you are your own worst enemy. Now, the second point is the Europeans aren't so bad. After all, we are theirs just as much as they are ours. I would like to think our Europeans call us our native people because they love us, and vice versa. We each love one another just as much as we love our pets. Can you dig it? In other words, our senses of ownership conflict. They are mismatched. As our spirit brother Bob Marley puts it, one world is enough for all of us. Admittedly, it saddens me to say that being poor comes down hard on me and you. There is so much of it, and there are people who refuse to be affiliated with social assistance from the Ministry of Human Resources, or MHR as it is commonly known. There is a lot of bread out there, but there are more without. I shall take a holiday if I can just get away. Moving on, the proposed GST confirms to me that even the most ridiculous buffoon can get his foot into Parliament these days. Increasing the tax increases the numbers of poor folks. On some nights out neath the cloudy blue glory sphere, I spend my time thinking about the army moving on to, quote, land set aside for the use and benefit of the Indians, unquote, and invading our territory. This is reserve land they are on. I put it to you that reserve land is land in trust, and now the trust is gone. Now we cannot even call reserve land our land. The presence of the military violates our right to be reserved. I am objective here because some of us have invisible feet. The Vancouver Art Gallery is sitting on land over which we claim authority, but we don't want the Vancouver Art Gallery. All these high-rises around you are on native Indian land, but we don't expect them to be turned over to us. We have nothing to do with these buildings, except for the fact that our tax dollars keep them lit by night and day. And as the taxes increase, our non-renewable resources deplete. So everything goes up, including unemployment, and more people are hard up and hungry. I think, too, that our army, which wages war on us in Oka, is sustained by our tax dollars. The bigger the army, the bigger the deficit. We are rich in perpetual poverty. To make a long story short, BC Hydro power and authority, high-rises, vacant offices, policemen, the military, the bureaucrats, the politicians and all the senators sponge off the tax dollars supremely. Law and order should be a public duty, not a public expense. But they will say, everyone needs their bread and butter, but only some know which side their bread is buttered on. What the hell? I'm not being serious here. This is supposed to be a mere show, an empty parade of extravagant composition. The poem I mean to read was written several years ago in the great Alpine Plateau, the territory of the Tahltan Nation. It is called the Tahltan Nation's First Lady. It expresses for me the fight we have been in since the arrival of the colonialists on our continent. The Tahltan Nation's First Lady. The elements in our ground and in the atmosphere absorb and reflect the white heat provided by Father Sun. The spectrum of its energy ranges from the microcosm to the macrocosm. Saving the nation means destroying maggots, if not by shovels full of labor, then by heat and fire full of anger. To serve the people of this land is not like taking from your hand. The mastermind is like a giant fly, creating maggots to eat our culture dry. The Stikeen's first lady, she comes from the Grand Canyon indeed. Her body flows gracefully with a tall tan. Her canyons are filled with happiness, which fills the heart of every soul. The arteries of her joy are in the gorge of Telegraph Creek. The sheer walls are her pleasure. The rolling mountains caress her soul. To dam up a nation's territory is total destruction of mind, body, and soul. O mastermind, let the First Lady be her own master of destiny. Was there a mention of the TP cult? Would you come to my place and rant over the daily news with me? Call in the fumigators, eliminate the legislators.